shared a very long history of our diplomatic relations, and we value the relationship very highly. Um, I want to, through you, thank President Xi Jinping for his recent invitation to visit China and the bilateral talks that we had. I want to thank him very much for the 2 grants that he's giving us. One, to establish their flower market, and the second, to establish a university in the Savannah region. Of course, our relations have been historic because of the personal relations that existed between our first president, Kwame Nkrumah, and Chairman Mao, and also Prime Minister Chu Enlai. And we reminisce that our first president was overthrown on his way to Vietnam when he landed in China. The announcement of the coup d'etat took place. The Chinese were very kind to him until he relocated to Guinea. And so we share a lot of history. But I want to particularly thank President Xi and China for the role you played in the debt restructuring for Ghana. China and France were the co-chairs of the framework that discussed Ghana's restructuring, and China was very positive, played a very positive role in getting us the final agreement on debt restructuring. Since that agreement was signed, Ghana has lived to expectation. We paid the debt down, and the debt to GDP has come from above 60% to 45% at the end of last year. And so we've brought our debt back to sustainable levels. And so we want to thank China for the role that you played. We also have created a better investment environment. We've stabilized the macroeconomy, and inflation has come down. Interest rates have come down. Now we're beginning to see it in the foreign direct investment numbers. Foreign direct investment has gone up, and I must say that a good percentage of the investments that are coming in from the private sector are coming from China. And we appreciate that because it helps to create employment for our young people. And so we'll continue to work together to attract as many private sector investors into Ghana as possible. One new area that China is investing in is in the mining area. And recently, Cardinal Namdini, which is one of our recent major gold mines, is owned and run by Chinese investors. There are several others. Presidency also that has recently transferred from Newmont to a Chinese investor. And so we'll work together to continue to improve the investment portfolio between us. We've agreed on the zero tariff agreement between Ghana and China, and we're hoping that it will soon be signed and come into effect so that Ghana can export zero tariff into the Chinese market. Our exports constitute of several things, mainly to do with oil, and then also agricultural products like cocoa, rubber, and other products. Some gold is also exported. It is our hope that we'll be able to expand that trade so that we improve the economic relations between our two countries. Ghana is part of the Belt and Road project, and we want to see how we can expand the cooperation under that project. We're also looking forward to FOCAC, and I believe that FOCAC has been a very, very important support for Africa. It remains one of the biggest symbols of the friendship between Africa and China, because under FOCAC, several infrastructural projects have been done, which is exactly where Africa needs those investments in railways, in roads, in bridges, things that improve productivity in Africa. And so we'll encourage China to continue to support Africa in that regard. And finally, I want to reaffirm, as we have always done, that Ghana supports the One China policy, and we'll continue to work together for world peace and security. So you're welcome again.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And please allow me to convey His Excellency President Xi Jinping's warm greetings and best wishes to Your Excellency, and goodwill, and express my goodwill and the friendship of the Chinese government and people to the government and people of Ghana. And allow me to congratulate Your Excellency on representing Africa to submit to the UN General Assembly's resolution declaring transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime.
Let me thank you for China's support.
Yeah, we support that.
You were one of our strong supporters.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
This is a victory for Ghana, and this is a victory for Africa, and China support that. And China will always stand firmly together with our African friends to correct the historical injustice and uphold the fairness and justice of the world. China, as you rightly pointed out, that China and Ghana enjoyed a time-honored friendship dating back to our founding leaders, President Nkrumah and Chairman Mao Zedong and Premier Zhou Enlai. And over the past 65 years since the establishment of diplomatic ties, China-Ghana relations has withstood the test of changes in terms of geopolitical and economic landscape. But what has not changed and what will not change is that China and Ghana will always firmly support each other on issues related to our core interests and major concerns. In recent years, under the strong leadership of Your Excellency and President Xi Jinping, China-Ghana strategic partner has enjoyed strong development. Last year, you have paid a successful visit to China to attend the Global Leaders Meeting on Women. And Your Excellency, you have a very in-depth discussion with President Xi Jinping on issues of bilateral relations as well as issues of mutual concern, and thus reached important consensus. This has charted a course and ushering in a new era for future China-Ghana relations. The Chinese government attaches great importance to China-Ghana relations, and we are ready to work together with our Ghanaian friends to deliver on the important consensus that we have reached with President Xi Jinping, and also implement the outcomes of the FOCAC. The political trust the mutual trust has been deepened, and the win-win practical cooperation has been expanded. We applaud the remarkable achievements that Ghana has achieved under your strong leadership in the past year, and we have seen the bilateral trade volume has reached a record of $14.1 billion US dollars. 19.3 year-on-year growth. China supports the Reset Ghana agenda, the Accra Reset Initiative, and the 24-hour economy policy. And we encourage the Chinese enterprises to be part of the Ghana's modernization process. Thank you very much for mentioning the China's role that we have played for the reconstruction, and also for the mining, and also for the mining corporations. We are so excited to see that Ghana will be among the first African countries to benefit from the zero tariff treatment. And I think that will further expand the cooperation between China and Ghana. Your Excellency, this year marks the first year of China's first 15th five-year plan, and also China will always stick to the high-quality development and also the high level of opening up policy. And this year also is also of very important significance to Ghana's economy, and we wish that the economy, your pursuit of modernization with Ghana's national interests and national conditions will achieve more results, and China will certainly be part of it. Your Excellency, I'm so excited to be appointed ambassador to your great country, but at the same time, I feel humbled because of the heavy task or responsibilities entrusted to me. So please rest assured that I will earnestly fulfill my duties and exert best efforts to consolidate the cooperation and the friendship between our two countries. And I'm convinced that when I perform my duty here, I will have continuous support from Your Excellency and our Ghanaian friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take some family photos.
So His Excellency Chong Song, representing the Republic of China, has just presented his credentials, bringing to an end the list of 5 countries and their representatives who have officially begun their duties after this ceremony. That was France, Angola, Namibia, South Africa, and China. And as you heard, the President speaks about how we hope to tap into the zero tariff policy, which will be officially signed, and China expressing its commitment to sustain the relations in terms of trade, economics, and cultural ties between the two countries. China is the second largest economy in this country, in a world where we see global leaders, especially in the West, changing their policy direction towards developing countries. China stands tall as one of the countries Ghana can leverage on. So the handshake there between the President of Ghana and His Excellency Chong Song of China. Of course, since 1960, trade between the two countries has grown. Between 2024 and 2026, it rose between $11.8 billion to $14.1 billion. And it's mostly in the area of cocoa, gold, oil, and other commodities. And I believe that Ghana would surely be tapping into the commitment of the ambassadors expressed to be signing the book, and then after that we will be wrapping up on this. There, in short, you see His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, Dr. Callistus Mahama. We have Julius Debra and the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okuchuto Ablakwa just wrapping up this brief ceremony with a tete-a-tete, while His Excellency Chong Song also signs the book to complete the process here. And so that is how we want to draw down the curtains. What happened at the Presidency was the presentation of credentials. It's basically a simple ceremony where ambassadors designate officially present their letters of credence to the presidents to mark the official recognition and beginning of their work. And so Chong Song is being ushered out by the Chief Protocol Officer at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and shortly he will be seen off. And so I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us on the Presidency social media handles and Wizard TV for this live coverage. Thank you. See you again.